Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thank you to every returning subscriber. Today we're going to be making a scissors neckline, so let's dive right in. For these, we have this paper folded into two. At the top of this paper, we're going to be taking out our straight line, which is going to indicate our shoulder line. Now we're going to be taking out the horizontal measurement for our pattern. We're going to be using 10 as the bust point. We're also going to be using 13.5 as the underbust, and we're going to be taking 17 as our waistline. Now we're just going to roll out straight lines on those dots. Now we'll be taking out the neck point, which is going to be 3. We're also going to be taking out our shoulder, which is going to be 7.5. by dividing our shoulder into 2, and we're also going to be taking 1 inch, and we're going to be connecting those dots and connecting it to the neck point as well. I'll be taking out 8 inches at where we marked 1, and we're just going to rule out a straight line at that point. Now that we have that straight line, we already have our chest line as well. So we're just going to take out our chest line. Once we're done with that, if you don't want your boob showing, you can take out 1 inch above that chest line. So now we're going to have a new chest line as well. And this is going to be the chest line we're going to be working with. So now we'll go ahead and lay bare our pattern. We have the new chest line, we have the chest line, the bust point, the underbust, and the waistline. Now we're going to take out our dots, and we're going to be using 3.5 for this, which is dividing the nipple to nipple measurement into 2. And we have this at the new chest line and the waistline. So we're just going to rule out a straight line. At the bust point, we're going to be taking out 1 inch below, and now that we have that 1 inch, at the underbust, we're taking out 1 inch on both sides. At the waistline, we're going to be taking out 0.75 on both sides as well. So now we're just going to be connecting those dots. For this, we're going to be using the French curve, and you can place it exactly this way. So once you have that placed, you can go ahead and draft out your curve. At the new chest line, we're going to be taking out 1 inch on both sides. And now that we have that, we're going to be connecting that to the bust point as well. Now we're going to be transferring everything we have on this side of the paper to the other side of the paper. And now we're done with that. We have everything we drafted out on the other side of the paper to the other side of our paper. So now we're going to be drafting out our neck point. Before we do that, we're going to be indicating the middle of this pattern. Now we're just going to be taking out dotted lines to indicate the midpoint of our pattern. So once we're done with that, we'll go ahead and take out our scissors neckline. For this, we're going to be connecting the area where we mark 3 at the top right there at the neck point. We're going to be connecting that 3 to the new chest line. You're just going to place it in a curve like this, or you can go ahead and take out a straight line depending on what you want. So at that place where we have 3 right there, we're just going to curve it out to the line where we have our new chest line, just like this. Now we're going to be taking out the wideness of our scissors neckline, and we're going to be taking out 3 at this point. And now that we have 3, we're going to be connecting that 3 to the old chest line at the midpoint. So we'll go ahead and connect the 3 we marked out at the neckline right there to the old chest line. Remember, we have the new chest line and the old chest line. So we're connecting the first line to the new chest line and the second line to the old chest line. So now we're done. We're going to be taking out the measurement. When this measurement is going to be taken out from our midline right there. For this, we have our bust as 8, which is dividing the circumference of our bust into 4. And we're going to be adding the 2 inches for our dart, and we have 10. At the waistline, we have 7 for this, which is dividing the circumference of your waist into 4. And now we're going to be adding 1.5 for the dart right there, which should give us 8.5. So now we're just going to be connecting the dots. So now you can go ahead and make a curve at the armhole area. You can leave it in a straight line or make a curve just like so. So once we're done with the curve right there, at the midline area, we're just going to draft out a straight line so we know where we are cutting. So from the point where we marked out our scissors neckline, we're just going to make a straight line down. So once we're done, we can go ahead and cut this out. So here we have the front of our pattern. We have the side front, and we're cutting this in 2 pieces on our fabric, and we have the center front, which we're going to be cutting in 2 pieces on our fabric as well. So now we're basically done with the front of our pattern, and we're going to be moving over to the back. Please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you. And now for the back, we already have our zipper taken out. For this, you can use 1.5 or 2 inches depending on what you want. We have the top line of our pattern. We have the neck point, which is 3. We have the shoulder slope 7.5, and we also have the armhole area taken out. We have the chest line and the waistline as well. Now we're going to be taking out 1 inch above the chest line, which should indicate our new chest line. So now we're done with this. We're going to be taking out the wideness of our neckline so it would fit to the front of our pattern. So we're going to be taking out 3 inches right there, the same thing we took out for the front of our pattern. And now that we have 3 inches, we're also going to be taking out 1.5 above that new chest line, and we're just going to be connecting that in a straight line. So once we're done with this as well, we're going to be taking out the dart on the back piece of this pattern. So for the dart, we're also going to be using 3.5, which is dividing the nipple to nipple measurement into 2. So now that we have 3.5, we're taking it out at the chest line and the waistline as well. At the points where we marked out 3.5 at the chest line, we're coming down by 1 inch. So now we're connecting that 1 inch to the waistline. On the waistline right there, we're taking out 1 inch on both sides. Now we're going to be connecting those 1 inch to the point where we marked 1 below the chest line. Now we're going to input our measurement as the same thing we did for the front of our pattern. And once we're done with that, we're going to be taking out the neck depth of this pattern. At the neck area, we're going to be coming down by 1.5, which should indicate the neck depth of this pattern. You can use 1.5, you can use 2, depending on how deep you want it to be. So we're just going to be connecting this to where we mark 3 in a curve just like so. And once we have this, we could go ahead and cut this out. And now we have the back of our pattern, and we're going to be cutting this in 2 pieces on our fabric as well. So now we have the front piece of our pattern, and we also have the back piece of our pattern, and this is our scissors neckline. I hope you can see this. This is the front, and this is also the back piece of our pattern. So now we're basically done with this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like and share this video. And if you want to see how this is sewn, you can go ahead and drop it in the comment section, and I'm going to make a video on that. And if you want me to do any other thing, you can go ahead and drop that as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.